Now that we've created our beautiful data set of just the island we're interested in and just the rainfall stations that have good data, now we need to take that data and do some kind of interesting calculations on it so we can end up with our probability map. And so I'm going to just sort of demonstrate the steps you could take to do this. I'm not going to actually do the particular math you'll need. I'm going to do some other sort of just random math steps, but to sort of show you the basic idea for how to manipulate the data to create a new, let me right click on this guy. Here's our attribute table, and again each of these guys corresponds to a particular station, and we can see we've got all of these columns, right? What we're going to do is we're going to create a new column, because we're going to populate the new column with some kind of a calculation based on things like standard deviation, annual standard deviation, and annual average, and maybe some other things will go in there, we'll cook in there. But basically what we need to do is we need to edit this table. And the way that we can edit it is we can go to table options and we can say we want to add a field. Now, I'm going to call mine test. You should call yours some other kind of name. And you're given a choice here of what type of data do you want to have in there. If you just choose the default short integer, it will have to be a whole number, 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably if you're doing some calculations with numbers that already have decimals, you don't want to totally truncate them to integers. So you could choose a float or a double. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to choose a double. In here you need to put in precision. It's always a little bit confusing for me what we're going to put in. I'm just going to put in 12 and 12 here, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to say OK. If we look over here, we have a new, this is exciting, we have created a new column called test. This guy's highlighted. I don't want anything highlighted, so I'm going to click that guy to unhighlight things. And now in here, I can do some interesting things. And what I want to do is I want to make some kind of a calculation. And I want to populate test with some kind of value. So I can choose anything in here. And I could say I want to do it this times this plus this divided by this. Whatever you want to do, you can do it in here. And so I'm just going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to right click on test. We're going to go to field calculator. And it'll give you this warning. You're about to do a calculate outside of an edit session. It's okay. You can do it. Because if you screw up, you just delete that column and try it again. No sweat. So, okay. Here we go. So we're going to just do this. And basically what we have over here are all the existing columns in the data set. Okay? All the existing columns in the data set. And so for my little stupid test, which is not what you want to do, I'm just demonstrating how you manipulate this. I'm going to choose an average in inches. I'm double clicking that, and that when I did that I brought it down in here. Okay? And then I just simply want to take the annual average in inches and I want to multiply it by I'm just going to parse down here, the annual standard deviation in millimeters. This is the expression that I'm going to run on every single station. Okay, I'm going to say okay. It's thinking, and voila, we've got values over here. So look, this is 804.745. So if we look, so where did that number come from? So if we scan over to annual average, so this is 26, right? 26.19. So 26.19. In my stupid little example, 26.19 times, what did we say? The annual, this guy, 1.2 gives us 804. What the hell's going on with that? That doesn't sound right. What was my, let me check this again. What was my field calculation? Field calculator. Yes, it'll keep this old guy. Oh, because I multiplied the inches by the millimeters. So that should make more sense. Let me cancel this guy. So it's even more of a meaningless number that I created here. So basically I said 26 times, and then let's look at the annual standard deviation in millimeters. Annual standard deviation millimeters. Where are you? 30. So 26 times 30, and that gave us 804, and that does make sense. Okay, so this is how you can create a new column of data and populate that column with some kind of a mathematical expression that will hopefully make a lot more sense than what I just did, that will allow you to calculate the probability of the question, which is we're asking about what is the level of rainfall that each of these stations should receive that will be exceeded 9 out of 10 years. Excellent.